Okay, so um how to begin. So Alexander now knows about, for reals, that every line that Michelle has said has been rehearsed. And so now he knows that, which is great. However, he should have known that anyway. I mean, let's face it, he knew that that she was part of orphanage, and what her mission is, and blah blah blah. So he kind of, this shouldn't really be a shock, but it's great that he has confirmation that literally everything about their relationship is fake. So it's good that he's, keeping his head on his shoulders. Um, and I'm liking Michelle less and less. And not just because, all the lines she took from a book. I dislike her. I already disliked her for, making lines up. No, I dislike her even more because why did she kill Oliver? Seriously, what is it that she's afraid of with this, whether it's a mission or a previous life? Because she did tell Parker that she she needs to burn the old her and build up the new one. So my question is, okay, what the heck is going on? Why? What's happening? Um, but yeah, was this an old life? Was he a previous mission similar to Alexander? Seriously, why did she kill him? Because from what we saw, there was literally no reason for her to do that. I guess that's why Parker, kicked away that journal that St. George gave her, simply because she, I guess, is metaphorically burying her feelings for what happened. That because Moira pointed out that some people need to be sacrificed for the mission, kind of clicked in her brain, that gave her permission to be okay with all this death. But it definitely seems like Parker is getting a crush on Alexander. She told him that it was an honor to finally getting to speak to him. But if she turns into another Michelle, I'm not so sure that I would want them together. Because what I like about Parker is that she cares about people. That, if you can get away with not killing people, that would be awesome. So, I don't know, maybe, don't go down the Michelle route. Um, I believe Oliver called her Monique. What is it with the M's? I mean, granted, it was Parker who gave her Michelle, but still. That's just, does her real name start with an M? At this point, I do not care who she is, what her background is, what her real name is. I actually, the way things are going for her right now, I would not care if she was a casualty. I really wouldn't. Um, so Alexander played action hero. and trying to protect Saul, who is supposed to be helping them, but at the same time refuses to help them because he thinks orphanage sucks. So that's a third person who is basically telling Alexander, why are you with orphanage? You should not be with them. Victor kind of told him that. Um, Henry seems to give me those vibes. I mean, why else would he be? Why would he have um have hacked Alexander's eyes and ears if he didn't have a problem with orphanage? Because he didn't know who Alexander was. So he doesn't have, say, Victor's motivations, which is he wants to be sure that Alexander is okay. And he even told him, it's okay to not know everything, which I thought was bizarre because wasn't he the one who wanted Alexander to, find out who the mole is? To exonerate himself. And now he's like, oh, don't worry about things. There's just certain things you don't want to know. What? So Cobb is going back to his old haunt. He found out that it was someone within orphanage that gave him, that blew the Slovak candidate's cover. Now, I don't know if he's still on that Alexander is behind it or he's just trying to find out who in orphanage. Because he went to get the evidence, which apparently was damaged in transit. And then the guy who gave him the evidence said, oh, I misspoke when I said that it actually arrived here. So, obviously, he was told from the high ups, because I don't think he was involved. He was probably told by Moira to say that, because they're the ones who let the ambush happen on the Slovak presidential candidate. He allowed Saul to die. Well, technically, Saul put Alexander in the position for him to kill him, which obviously Alexander would have no problem. He's a freaking sniper. From that distance, it wouldn't be hard at all. So Orphanage made deals with bad guys you can have Saul, but you have to bide your time, which, shock of all shocks, they did not do. That they told them one thing and did another. Are you serious? You really, really thought that your shit don't stink enough that people would listen to you just because you're orphanage? Okay. For people like Moira who do this spycraft and some people are just gonna have to die for the greater good, blah blah blah. He is super naive. I just don't see why he thought that was gonna work. So Alexander is now officially dying. I mean, Moira isn't telling him that. But Francis told us in the beginning what happened with the previous test subjects, and that's Alexander's future. So we saw Alexander starting to break down. Which, considering Parker seems to, be totally into him, That would seriously suck if the season ended with Alexander dying. Maybe they'll pull a rabbit out of their hat and they'll find a way to save him. Um Henry is now wanting to find that drive, which is what Orphanage wanted. But the question is, why is the director of national intelligence, at least I assume he's the director, why is he doing this? Why is he after this drive? What does he think is on it? Is he trying to embarrass Orphanage? Is he like what was suggested, that he's just selling this information to the highest bidder because he's a greedy fuck? Why? Why is he doing this? So I'm actually rooting for Cobb, because as long as he's not going after Alexander blindly, I want him to find out about what was done to Alexander and how he's being used, and, to unravel everything. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with that. As long as, he comes to the right conclusion, I'm fine with it. Now that Alexander knows what Michelle is really like, I mean, she's lied so much that even if she was truly falling for Alexander, he would literally have no reason to believe her. None whatsoever. Let's see what else is there that I wanted to mention. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. I think I've covered everything I wanted to. I covered Parker, Alexander, Cobb, Henry, Moira, Saul, Michelle. Yeah, I think I covered everything I wanted to in this video. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one.